All right, shower is completed. That's not okay.
Oh, I just saw the gnat again.
That's not okay, in my opinion. Oh! I've ordered takeout. Yes, I have. I'm using a literal butter knife right now.
Tried my first bite of food. It dribbled on me a little bit.
One day I will be a plus size influencer who has died. That is crazy.
This video is so raw, you guys. Fuck.
Damn, what a real bitch is that?
Hey there, YouTube. It's me, Hens, and I'm back here with Salty Crab. We're back for the third members-only live stream recap with Amberlynn. So let's get into it. Bum, bum, da-dum. Bum, bum, da-dum.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel.
Hey,
Happy
Salty.
Wednesday. Today I have another members only stream summary for you guys. This was
Cool.
Amberlynn's third members only stream, and it actually ended up being 3 separate streams. Her
What?
internet, I guess, was going in and out. I'm not really sure
I feel that.
what was happening. I don't think she knew what was happening, but we're gonna cover all of the 3 streams. And if you haven't heard already, there was some shocking news that she told us about in the stream. So let's just get started. Ready? Let's go. Okay, so just a few disclaimers before we get started. The pictures that you will see on the screen.
I wonder what that
correspond
news
to
is.
Whatever
I wonder what the big news is.
information I'm telling you. So it's not perfect, but I tried to take a screenshot with every note that I took. So they kind of go together. Also, pretty much everything that I'm about to say is direct quotes from Amberlynn. She has accused some of us reaction channels of lying about what we said happened in her members only stream. So I have started taking exact quotes from her. That way she cannot say that I'm lying about anything. So if I say she said
You call her out, Salty Crab.
something, you can almost guarantee that is exactly what she said. Okay, so the stream starts out and she is looking and sounding not like herself. All of a sudden, she recognizes someone in chat named Brandon, and it seems like she knows them in real life. It turns out that Brandon is a guy that she met in 2nd grade who she had a crush on all through school, even up until high school. She says they even dated for a short time, but it was just too awkward, so they decided to just be friends. She says something about how when she was taken from her parents, she came back to visit, and that's when she noticed that her 2 best friends, Brandon and Brianna, were dating, and it broke her heart.
Wait, a dude? Why is she... What? Okay.
I don't know. This isn't really important news, but I just thought I'd fill you guys in. And she makes it very clear Brandon is not the movie theater guy. She says she never did anything like that with him. We can tell that she is definitely...
Like, that's so odd.
Definitely sick. She keeps coughing throughout the whole stream, and that's why she appears so different than normal.
Oh, you're coughing throughout the stream, Amber. Oh, I do know about some
So
news.
since someone brought up the movie theater guy, she starts talking about him. She says she was 17. He was in his 20s, apparently.
Ew.
Then we go back to
Amber, what?
Brandon. She says that she and Brandon are the same age. She has looked at his social media and said how good he looks. Now, mind you, this person was using their full government name as their screen name. And here goes Amberlynn giving all these tidbits about them. So anyone in that chat would have seen his name. They would know his age. They would know that he has social media. He's attractive. Because apparently Amberlynn doesn't have the forethought to...
But is... Oh, yeah, he's straight. Never mind.
Realize maybe I shouldn't out this person as someone that I know in real life, and then proceed to basically tell us all exactly how to find them. But I digress.
Exactly.
So someone asks her about her cameos. She says that it's very random what she gets asked to do. She does a lot of birthdays, a lot of congratulations, and a lot of pep talks, which, yikes. People keep asking if she's drunk or high, what's going on. She doesn't seem like herself.
Well, she is definitely vaping. It's confirmed that Amberlynn is vaping again, because it's caught on her own video in the vlog. She let out a puff, and we saw it on screen when her mom was standing there smoking, but it came from the opposite direction.
And she says she's literally sober. Even Brandon
No,
says
you're not.
something about
That's not true.
Drinking. Then it comes out that she is still vaping. She
Yup.
vapes, she says, usually once every 2 weeks, and it's usually right before she goes to bingo. She says that she
Once every 2 weeks, but you go to bingo more often than that. What?
never quit vaping, and that she does it because sometimes she just needs to take the edge off. A lot of people in the chat are asking her if she's sick. She just ignores all of those comments, and then the live stream ends. Apparently something went wonky with her internet, so she fires up a new one, and when we come back, she's being asked about doing a podcast, and she says she thought about doing a podcast with her mom, but after her latest vlog, she says, quote, "People don't get it. People don't get the vibe that me and my mom put down." She says that she
No, people love the vibe that your mom brings to the table. They don't like you. They don't like you. They love your mom's energy. They don't like you.
Does not watch a Geordie in all of 2025 so far. Then she goes back and says, well, maybe I did at the beginning of January, but it's been a good month since she's watched him. And she feels so much better because, quote, he makes her mental health horrific, unquote. And says, quote, it feels good not to have that type of energy in my life anymore, unquote. To which I say, good. He doesn't want you in his live streams, and it's clearly not good for you to constantly hear about what people have to say about you. So
True.
everyone's better off if you...
It's not good for anybody to hear everything that everyone thinks about them, but Amberlynn seeks it out. Amberlynn doesn't live a normal life where you don't seek that information out. She has to know what every single fucking person thinks about her.
Avoid his streams. She says that she took Twinkie to the vet 5 days ago. She doesn't say why though. She keeps coughing. She sounds awful. Everyone keeps asking.
Wait, so you took Twinkie to the vet, but you couldn't take Wasabi at the same time and get them both microchipped? What? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you make multiple trips?
Are you high? Are you sick? Were you crying? Because we can all tell she seems different. She doesn't look good. Also, her new thing is to say, Dear Heavenly Father, every 2 seconds. One time
What?
she even says, Dear Heavenly Father,
What?
grace me upon your presence. But don't forget that she's
What?
agnostic. She then catches a glimpse of herself.
What? Oh, the ankle had so called, oh, Amberlynn is so gonna have a fake Christian arc. She is so in that arc swing. Oh my gosh, she's head in there.
In the camera.
She's gonna be a trad wife Lynn.
And she even admits, yeah, I do look really high or drunk. And
Yeah,
right
she
here,
does.
I'm just gonna
She does look really high there. She looks like she's been vaping for about an hour before she went live.
come out and say it. I think that she's talking to someone new. She not only is she looking and acting different, her mannerisms are different. The way she's talking is different. I'm going to play a clip for you guys, just the audio, and you can hear kind of how she's speaking. It does not sound like her at all. She's also being very animated in her gestures. Just listen to this clip.
I think it would genuinely just make me feel better if you just like diagnosed me and just went straight for it. Like, bro, you're a narcissist. But like, I've talked to 2, and I'm gonna talk to my new one about it too. I'm not gonna lie. And they're just like, bro, no.
What the actual fuck is that accent? What the actual fuck is that accent?
They don't say bro. But
okay, so then shortly after that, this live stream ends. It was a short one, only 8 minutes, and she fires up a new one. So then she starts talking about the story that she wrote named Scotty. I think Mr. Snowflake is...
Yep, Mr. Snowflake just finished reading off the entire thing. Apparently it took a long time since he made like, I think 8 different videos, and they're like 40 minutes each.
Reading that story on his channel. She says that she wrote it when she was 17 years old, but she put it on Wattpad in 2017 because she had a long distance friend who wanted to read it. She ends up saying that friend was Crystal, and also she wanted other people to be able to read it. And she has a whole long story about why she used certain names. I didn't really follow it too well. And again, just want to reiterate, she's acting very different than she's doing lots of clapping and clasping her hands together, lots of overly exaggerated gestures. And to me, it just screams someone new is in her life. Could be wrong, but
that sounds exactly like that.
When I saw...
And they're just like, bro, no. They don't say bro. But...
And that accent is like nothing I've heard from her. Ever.
Lots of overly exaggerated gestures, and to me, it just screams someone new is in her life.
That's exactly what I think.
That's my very first thought when I saw the way that she was acting. It was very different than normal. But going back to the Scotty story, she says that she will never rewrite or add to it because she wrote it when she was 17, and now she's 34. I don't know what that means, but that was a reason behind it. So someone was saying kind of mean comments in her chat, and people were saying, Amber, please block them. And then she says, comments like that are too hectic on it to get upset at. So I'm just not going to block them. But later on in the stream, she does end up blocking people. So it's very weird the way she moderates the chat. Some people, if you troll a little bit, she will get rid of you. If you say mean things, she says it's too mean and she'll let you stay. So very odd. Someone then asks if she has COVID, to which Amber laughs, and then the stream freezes. And when she comes back, she moves on to the next question, which was very suspicious.
I love that for her.
So then the COVID gets asked.
Amber loves to say that she's in tune with the universe. Apparently, the universe is in tune with shutting her down.
About again. And again, Amber just kind of giggles, but doesn't really answer if she has it or not. But then she takes a deep sigh and says, quote, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want my whole stream to be about it, but yes, I do have COVID, unquote.
Nice. Good job, Amber. You finally got the COVID. Good job. Good job. Good
She
job.
says that she tested positive yesterday, which, since we are going over this the day after, it would have been the day before that she tested positive. So Monday she tested positive. She starts to get teary-eyed.
I'm kind of shocked that she's never had COVID, considering how much she used to go out with Beck during COVID, the height, before the vaccines, when people were refusing to mask still. Like, she was going out all the time and making Beck go in the stores. So I'm surprised. I think she probably had it before. She just didn't tell us.
And she says this is why she didn't want to talk about it. She says she's scared. At first, she thought it was
Aw.
allergies, and then she thought it was cellulitis, and then she thought it was the
What?
flu. She says this
You thought it was cellulitis? Amber, COVID does not feel like anything else that I've ever had. And I've had a couple of different things. I've had pneumonia. Pneumonia didn't make me feel as shitty as COVID did.
is the first time she's ever
And
had
I've had
COVID.
pneumonia. I've had pneumonia 3 times now.
She said she's had every symptom of a cold and every symptom of the flu, and every day it's been new symptoms. And that day, yesterday, she woke up and had trouble breathing and her chest was
Yeah.
hurting. She
Yeah.
says her grandpa passed away from COVID and it gives her so much anxiety that she had a quote whole
What? Her grandpa passed away from COVID, but I don't remember ever hearing anything about that. Do you guys know that? Did you remember hearing about that from her? Like, what?
free
Has she mentioned her grandparents, like her grandfather, within the past 5 years? I might be mistaken because I just started watching like 2.5 years ago and only through reaction channels. But seriously, did that happen?
freak out on Monday when she found out that she had it. And she said that yesterday was her day 3 of COVID. Her symptoms started the day after she went to the vet. Day 1, her symptoms were sore throat and headache, fatigue, no appetite.
Also, Amberlynn, if you actually understood what it was like to work a real job, some jobs make people go back to work at the bare minimum of when they're starting to be acceptable to come back, when it's legally acceptable, not when the person is feeling better, when they can legally force them to the office or whatever working conditions they have. You have such luxury and privilege that you can pre-work on one day and spread it out, and you don't even understand, and then you try to hide it on your live streams that are supposed to be your intimate moments with your besties. What lovely candor.
She said she had a fever, chills, cold symptoms, flu symptoms. And day 3, which was yesterday, she woke up with chest pain, coughing, and sneezing. She says
Aw.
that as soon as she took the test and saw it was positive, she was shocked and immediately had a panic.
Welcome. She didn't have a panic attack. Let's clear that up. She did not have a panic attack. What she had was a nervous reaction. She was scared for herself. It was not a panic attack. It was not her whole world closing in on her. Be so fucking for real. Like, that's the crazy thing about the people who've never had COVID, and like specifically because they don't leave their house. Like, it's not a point of bragging on your end that you've never had COVID so far. Most of the world has had to go out into the real world again since it opened up because we don't have the luxury of staying home all day. And our immune systems are catching up to being able to react more quickly because we have the vaccines and because we've been exposed in real life. The more you stay sheltered, the less you likely are to be able to react well to these new strains because we've already had the other ones you haven't even seen.
Attack. She thought that she was someone who would never get COVID and was immune to it.
Bitch, what? You thought you were. See, that's that arrogance. That's that utter arrogance. You thought you were special and immune to COVID. No, it's that you don't go out of your fucking house. If you did, you would have been caught it more times than most of us. Be so fucking for
Someone
real.
suggests maybe go to the ER since she's having a hard time breathing. And
Don't
she
go to
says,
the fucking
quote, it's
ER.
just like normal.
Schedule an appointment with CVS and then go, and they can get you the prescription that you need. They have Minute Clinic. Don't fucking waste the ER resources, you fucking piece of shit.
I'm sick type of breathing, unquote, whatever that means. And she also says, quote, I have a pulse ox, so I think we're good. Someone in the chat's
What?
talking about their experience having COVID and how they had to be in a coma and on a ventilator and lost the ability to walk for a while. And Amber says, quote, see, this is one of the reasons. And then she just kind of trails off. I think she realized that this person was sharing their experience with her and Amberlynn was making it about herself. She says that she has lost her smell, her sense of smell and taste. She says she's freaked out.
I just can't eat, you guys. I'm stuffing it down. I'm really stuffing that food down and I still can't taste it.
Out hearing everyone else's experiences because she's, quote, low-key a hypochondriac. And then Amberlynn goes right back to the COVID thing and
Of
says,
course she did.
since she has COVID, if she ended the stream early, would you guys be mad about that? So
Oh my
after
God,
asking
what
if
a
people would be
fucking
mad about
slacker.
it, she has
Bitch, last time I had COVID was literally the day after Thanksgiving last year. Is the last time I got COVID. And when I got it, I still worked at home because I have the ability to. I still worked from home, Amber. You have the luxury, so you should work when you can.
half the people in her chat are saying no, and then half are saying yes, which Amberlynn was like shocked by. I think she thought everybody would be like, no, end it now, go to bed. But people were like,
Lol.
yeah, we'd be mad. We paid for this. And
Yeah.
some of the people in chat were like, they were saying, hey, I still had to go to work when I
Yeah.
had COVID. And Amber says, well,
Exactly.
it says online you're supposed to quarantine for 10 days, which I don't
That's the old rules, Amber. If you were actually in the world, you would know that.
know what that has to do with anything, but that was kind of her way of being like, just
Like nowadays, companies only want you to do like 5 days at most. And they're pressuring you constantly to come back.
because you guys went to work doesn't mean I have to, I guess. So then she goes and gets her pulse ox and admits she's never even used it before. It kind of feels like she
Lol.
got it just
What a
for this
moron.
purpose so that she could show the people on stream that she has one. And she does the check or whatever, and she says, quote, we're good. My breathing is 98. My beats per minute is 72. She's laughing. She's being silly. She's kind of making a joke about everything. She says that yesterday her temperature got up to 102, and she has now made 2 comments about how tired she is, clearly trying to get the people in chat to tell her to end the stream because she keeps talking about how she needs to be resting, and someone in the chat says this is resting, and Amber
Literally,
says, yeah,
she's
but
sitting
I feel like
down.
we should be sleeping. So people in the chat seem to be getting bored. Some are begging her to do something, like maybe do a Lego set. She says she can't do that because she doesn't have the right setup for it. So then she says, well, let's just do a Q&A. But she won't answer certain questions because she, quote, decided she will no longer talk about her love life, and that's that, unquote. So that again tells me she's definitely talking to someone. Why now? All of a
Definitely.
sudden would she be like, nope,
Absolutely.
that's it. I'm not going to say anything about my
I agree.
love life if nothing had changed. Why now? Why make that the rule now? So I wrote in big letters, definitely talking to someone. So then the Q&A starts. Most of the questions are boring, but a few of the interesting ones were she revealed that she drinks no water. Someone said, how much water do you drink a day? She said, literally none. She said that she has been to
Jesus
4 anime
Christ. Her piss is definitely barbecue.
conventions.
Barbecue sauce
and
piss.
She also revealed that she's thinking about still going ahead and doing the merch line. She again keeps repeating how awful she feels and how she should be in bed.
Okay, no. Now I'm thinking she's going to relaunch Emily as a new kind of tree. She's going to be Elm.
Resting. She said
Nightmare on Elm Street, anybody? They were talking about horror movies.
that she has no plans for Valentine's Day because she can't
I
go
wonder.
anywhere because she has to quarantine for 10 days. And she also wants to make it very clear she doesn't want to talk about heartbreak or relationship stuff, but points out she and Emily are not together. Again, make of that what you will. So people start calling her out about her continually saying that she has to quarantine for 10 days. Some people were like, that was the rules back in like 2021. Things have changed. So she goes and Googles it.
Literally what I said.
Put it in people's faces like, no, see, I'm right. But then she realizes she's actually wrong and it has changed to 5 days. And she says, quote, they
What did I fucking say? I didn't even just look it up.
literally just changed it, which I don't know if they did or not, but she was very insistent on the fact that they just changed it. And it hadn't been very recently.
No,
then
it's been changed because it was a big uproar when they were changing it by half. They literally were taking away people's ability to actually prevent the spread in the office and the workplace. And now the pressure is on you as an employee not to get everybody else sick, which is almost impossible in some circumstances.
Immediately after admitting that people were right and you don't have to quarantine for 10 days, it's
Uh-huh.
only 5, she then says that it sucks she has to quarantine because she had plans coming up. Even though, like I said, she just read that
Lol.
since this is day 3, she only has to quarantine for 2 more days. So she had it staring in her face how many days she had to
Hmm.
quarantine, but still insisted
I
on
love
believing
that.
that it was 10. I don't know. It was very weird. So then the topic moves to BPD. We spent a very long time talking about BPD. Someone asked her what BPD symptoms that she had, and she got out her journal entry, which was her phone. And apparently she had written a list of all the symptoms, but she only wanted to share the ones that she felt comfortable sharing. And
What?
that was extreme emotions that end up in tantrums and
No.
I reject.
We cannot give a holistic diagnosis or confirmation of your diagnosis if you don't provide all of your symptoms and their side effects on your life. Like, how would we be able to project from there what your behaviors would be if we don't know the full scope? Make that make any
meltdowns,
sense.
hysterical crying episodes, getting obsessed with one person, not being able to regulate emotions, a strong fear of abandonment. And she gave an example on this. She said, and this was her example, she said, for instance, she would text someone and say, I love you so much, baby. And maybe they might respond and say, love you. And it would completely trigger her. And she'd start thinking, do they hate me? Did I do something wrong? Are they leaving me? Are they cheating on me? And so then she went
So you're the dude from You.
back to the list. She said she has extreme and intense unstable relationships. She has black and white thinking, a constant need for validation. She's impulsive, like when it comes to eating and shopping. And she said that she acts in desperate measures. She didn't want to break that down and tell us exactly what she meant by that because she said it was very embarrassing to her. She admits that her BPD gets worse when she's in a relationship. She says the difference between when she's in a relationship versus when she's single is like night and day. And then she starts crying because someone in the chat says that her BPD emotions are still valid, even though 2 minutes
No, they're
earlier
not.
she had
It's not, because all of this stuff is in hindsight that you're saying this. It's not like, but it's like you want to excuse it in hindsight too. It's crazy because like you didn't know at the time that that's what it was. So saying, "Oh, well, that was just my BPD," you don't get to write that off. Those you don't get to say because you were not being analyzed at the time by somebody who was a professional. You looking back and saying, "Oh, that was just that. That was just that." That's not acceptable.
said when she's raging at someone
That's
because of
crazy.
BPD, she
Because
knows it's wrong to act that way, but because
unless you
someone
work through with a therapist or a psychiatrist or whatever you need, it's not going to be the truth.
tells her that it's valid to feel that way, she starts crying. And she says that she doesn't feel validated because people never made her feel valid. Interpret that how you want.
Aw.
She didn't really go into detail. Okay, so then the ankle
I don't need to validate anything about you.
gets a shout out. Someone says, quote, it's offensive to downplay mental health because maybe you don't agree with or like a person. Everyone's experiences are valid. And Amberlynn says, quote, you should tell that to the ankle. That's reaction channel. That is the most awful person in the world.
Lol.
Literally awful.
Literally.
Shout out the ankle. Great channel. Love him. I feel like he would probably consider that a compliment coming from Amberlynn. Okay, so
True.
then
He probably would.
someone in chat says that being loved by someone with BPD is so beautiful because borderlines love so deeply. Yeah. And Amber starts crying again at that. And she says, if she loves you, just know she loves you so hard. And she doesn't mean to be suffocating. She's beyond loyal, and you're going to be her #1 priority. So get in line, ladies, if that sounds like something you're interested in. Someone asks about channel members. She says that she now has 290 members. Then she says she's going to be getting all new cookware, knives, and cooking utensils because her food anxiety has been telling her that all of the things she has now are contaminated and full of bacteria. She starts
Then sterilize them. What is wrong with you?
talking about how her mom is very sentimental. She likes to have Amberlynn's things that she's gotten rid of just because it belonged to Amberlynn. And Amber says that one year, a few years before moving to Oklahoma, Amber had sent her mom a bunch of Christmas gifts, but she was worried that she wouldn't like them. So she also sent her a $200 Visa card so that if she didn't like the gifts, she could go buy something else. And she said that her mom still has not.
Where did she get all the money to send this shit? Huh? Where did she get all this money? She was not working. She didn't have a job, a proper paying job, until she was like 25. Be so fucking for real. And that was like part-time.
use that gift card because she cherishes it so much because Amber got it for her that she doesn't want to use it, which I think is very sweet. Kind
That
of
is very
crazy
sweet.
because it's just a card.
See, that's why everybody loves Mama Lynn's energy, because she does things like that. She's sentimental, she's really emotional, and cares about her impact on people. She wants to make amends. She wants to move forward, not dwell in the past. She wants to help Amber to become a better person. And yet Amberlynn is just dragging her feet, her pulling her full weight backwards, making sure that her mom gets a hernia just like her brother.
You know, maybe use like 199 of it and keep the card for the last dollar, or just spend it and ask them if you can have the card. But I think the idea behind it is very sweet. She then starts talking about her picking.
They probably should make sure that it still is active, because some of those cards used to expire and they used to have like a a monthly deduction that would dwindle your account eventually.
Disorder. She says that if we saw certain parts of her body, our jaws would be on the floor because
I'm
her
sure.
skin picking is so bad. And she's
Ugh.
actually surprised it hasn't landed her in the hospital. Then she
Ew.
sees someone in the chat who she doesn't
Ugh.
like. She puts them in.
She's surprised it hasn't. Amber's surprised it hasn't landed her in the hospital. That is pretty disgusting. Because she
I know.
doesn't bathe. Think about how little she bathes in addition to that.
Out and giggles about it. The topic then goes back to COVID. She says that she thinks she got it from her stepdad because he was sick and he thought he had the flu or a cold, and then he started feeling better, and that's when he went to bingo with Amber. He also never tested positive for COVID. She's just assuming it was him, even though we
It was probably just somebody at bingo. It was probably your little bingo buddy there. That's probably who it was.
know she went to at least bingo and the vet in the time before she started feeling sick, and I doubt she wore a mask, but yeah, she says probably it was her stepdad. We take an intermission. When she comes back, she's eating Pringles, even though she can't smell or taste anything, and a few people ask her.
It's just because she's bored. Like I said this in the reaction to the most recent vlog. She just eats out of boredom, and she eats when she's doing things. Amberlynn eats when she's doing puzzles. She does it when she's playing video games, and she probably does it when she's building Legos.
Like, why do you have chips? You're on a diet. And she tells them to, quote, mind their biz. She says she's freaking out.
Also, why do you have to eat while you're on live stream? Why can't it wait until you're done? Because you were saying you were about to end. What?
She wakes up the next day and feels worse. She doesn't know what she's going to do because the weather there was bad, and she feels like she's going to be trapped and won't be able to go to the hospital. So I guess that triggered her to take her pulse ox again and her temperature, both of which were fine. And that's when she decided to end the stream. So I will say she did end up doing pretty much the whole 2 hours. She complained the whole time. Like I said, she talked about how
Amberlynn is a professional complainer, I swear.
she didn't feel good, she should be resting, but I think she knew that people in the chat would make a stink about it if she tried to leave early, so that's why she ended up staying for the whole time. It was an interesting stream. Like I said, she was acting really different than normal, and I don't know if it was just because of the COVID or if it was, like I'm speculating, she has met someone new and is kind of taking on their personality. She did seem to kind of have like a brain fog during it, which might be because of the COVID. It also could just be Amberlynn, who knows. But yeah, that
Last time I had COVID, the brain fog was the worst.
was her
That and the all over headache.
third members only stream. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this whole COVID thing plays out. I hope that she doesn't end up needing to go to the hospital because that could go downhill real fast if it gets that bad. You know, like I always say, I
doubt
don't really
it'll
like
be that
Amberlynn,
bad.
but I also don't know her as a person. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't
that's
want to
true.
wish that on her to have a bad COVID reaction or experience or whatever. It's interesting.
I don't really care either way.
Interesting how in this stream she's kind of laughing and making light of it and, you know, talking about her symptoms like they're no big deal, but yet I feel like in the future when she's feeling better, she's gonna make it sound like she was near death.
Like literally, the thing is, the people who make the biggest deal out of getting COVID are the people who had the luxury of avoiding it in the first place. I'm not talking about people who are immunocompromised or anything like that. I'm talking about the people who just like stayed at home, who made other people go shopping for them, the people who never had to leave.
But I guess we'll find out. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this summary of Amberlynn's live stream. We're going to do it every week as long as she keeps
I love
having
it.
the members only streams. So definitely come back and check it out. And if you enjoy my channel and my summaries, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget
Go and give Salty Crab a like and subscribe if you're not already. And do the same for me. And leave a crab, as usual, or a lobster, whatever you want. Later.